Hello? Okay. So I'm going to make this quick because I filmed a 25-minute confessional and it turned out to have a playback error, which is lovely. So I'm going to make this as quick as possible. So I'm just gonna explore my mindset a little bit. So coming off of the first merge tribal, I'm just sitting here like, well, shit. As much as I want to be loyal to the Tugbogo 4 minus Sam, I don't necessarily think that I'm able to. Because, in all honesty, I don't think I was with us. My read is that they're coming up with a bunch of like bullshit reasons to be like, yeah, no, we're like, I don't think I was with this anymore. So it is time for me to jump ship. And not necessarily jump ship to Sonora. More so of, I think it's valuable to recognize the people on the periphery. So on Toboko, it definitely would be me and Al. Sam also, but Sam's a weird case. he's such a weird case, dude. I don't know if I just Sam's such a weird case. I don't know why he behaves like that. And so I think honestly, if they just decide to vote Sam out this round, I just might hop on and just get him extracted out of here. It's a fucking nap. And so I think me and Al, or Al specifically on the periphery, and so I need to kind of get in with them and be like, oh my god, I think we're on the outs of Toboko, OG Toboko. And then on Sonora, the people on the periphery are obviously Marissa and Michael. And so if there can be kind of like a 4-person chat in a way of us 4 kind of like getting together, I think that it might be beneficial. And I think that it may need to come from a place of me telling information. However, unfortunately, so like I was saying all this stuff on Tobacco calls, babies and the gabies, on the one with Sam, that they're putting themselves in a position to be able to get all the Sonora information. But I've received more Sonora information from Michael than I have from Al. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about, Al. You're irritating the living shit out of me. Especially with this last vote, it's obvious that you just, all these bullshit reasons that you're wanting to give out are just excuses to put yourself individually in a better position to be able to move farther into the game. Which, okay, cool, great, amazing. I'm so happy that you're able to do that. However, it is necessary to kind of just think of me. Think of me as your number one ally. That being said, I was upset at first about not voting with us. However, I completely get it. I understand. It is I get the point. Fine. However, I'm going to now kind of like what I was doing with Jordan when I recognized that he was doing shady shit. I kind of just like hopped onto it and jumped over with, because I knew that it would be like in doubt on top, essentially. And so that's kind of what I'm doing here with Al, is I recognize Al doing shady shit. And so if I'm able to kind of piggyback on that and go with that flow, then it's all good. That being said, for now, I don't, at least this tribal, I don't see myself voting for any of the original Toboko, unless possibly Sam. Um, I have a feeling that the names are going to come down to either Emily or Jameral. I personally would rather Jameral. However, I know that Al is pushing for Emily, so I'm not mad at either one, if I'm honest. Sure. If it goes, it goes. I think that, oh my god, I lost my train of thought. I am just moving onward. I'm moving forward. I'm establishing. I feel like I'm actually establishing something fucking real with Michael, actually, which is very surprising to me. What sucks is I have to now work with the people in the past that I've seen as people that I never thought that I would work with. And now I have to. And I have to go with the flow. I have it, like, I still really am pissed off at Al for flipping. However, the way that I think is best to go about it is to get one over on them in the big picture, is to embrace them, keep them close, include them on plans of when OG Toboko is no longer a thing anymore, when OG Sonora is no longer a thing anymore, include them on those mid-merge type of plans, and then fucking shank them. They just essentially get one over. And I just, yeah, I feel as if I need to get him. But that being said, despite all this craziness, I am having a good time. I do always love. I'm so. Oh, I meant to mention. I'm so happy that I made merge. Hopefully, jury, but I made merge. Yay! Yay! I'm very happy. I'm very proud of myself because I've shown my strengths as a player within the past few years. I got out fucking Jordan. Like, oh, that was great. That was great. Sorry, Jordan, but like, you know what you're doing. Don't even try to play. That being said, I'm excited to move forward. I hope that, because if there were around for them to get me out, I think now would be the time before I gain my momentum. So yeah, I think that if I don't get blindsided this round, I think that I'm good. I think that I'm good. And it's funny because I haven't received a vote yet, and we're in round 2 of the merge, which is great. I can't get cocky, you know. I'm very happy with the way that I've played so far, and granted, just because that I haven't received a vote does not mean that I haven't been in any danger. That being said, I'm trying to get all of the things off my head that I'm thinking of, but I know I didn't post like a substantial confession of the last round, so I gotta do the one this round. Okay, let me actually just make sure that I'm answering the questions in the confession. Okay. The first marriage vote is always a tone setter. How did this vote shake out for you personally? How do you think it will affect your game moving forward? Do you feel the need to adjust or pivot your approach? Oh, absolutely. I think that it actually has had a huge impact on the game moving forward. I think that I need to adjust on a pretty substantial scale of, yes, I am loyal to OG Tobacco for now. I think that moving forward, I need to embrace more connections to lesser rank players. No offense to Michael, Marissa, but in the grand scheme of things, I think it's pretty obvious that Jamero, Emily, and Judy are like the inner three. Um, at least that's the read that I'm getting. And so I think it's obvious that those are the inner three, and then I'm attempting to paint the adjustment that I'm making is attempting to paint the inner two, I guess, and OG Tobacco being Ollie and AB, which that's not necessarily what I have said verbatim. However, I need to approach it subtly and in a way of focusing on myself first and then later course correcting and changing those prospects of AB and Ollie, which I love them. I love AB and Ollie to death. However, a girl has got to do what a girl's got to do. Now that you've had some time to settle into the merch tribe, have new relationships started to form, or have your old ones grown even stronger? I would like to believe that because I have a more clear understanding of Al's game, that our connection has grown stronger because I did confront them a little bit on the vote and being like, you hurt me personally, why would you do that to me, type of thing. And that's kind of like the I'm attempting to approach it in a more personal route with them as compared to game focus wise, and I'm seeing how that works out for me. I'm hoping that it works out for me. I don't know. I don't. Have I answered the question? Wait. New relationships. I'm attempting to build. I'm putting more effort into creating relationships with Marissa and Michael. I was completely honest with Michael about wanting to vote him out over Jared, and then I got outvoted, and I'm attempting to use that and spin that in a way of looking at me as being on the outs of OG Tobacco, and hopefully he reads that as a more game importance and recognizing that I'm somebody that he needs in order to play the game that he's playing of riding the periphery, unless he is in deep with Sonora more than I thought, and then that's a bad read on mine, which he probably is. He probably is, and I then don't know how to go about that because I've already started the move of getting close with him. Oh well. Looking ahead, what's your biggest priority in the next round? Staying under the radar, taking control, or something else entirely? I feel like I need to attempt to stay under the radar for now, but voice my efforts with Marissa, and Michael, while also maintaining deep connections with AB and Ollie and Sam. I think that it's important for me to maintain a specific distance from Junique, Emily, and Jameral. While they are necessarily in control, I recognize that me being on this side, and they're petty players. They're petty players. They're a little bit vindictive, especially Emily, in the sense of if I attempt to get closer with them, I tell them a lie or I lie to them or like I don't vote with them on just a certain thing when I promised them that I would. They will be more vindictive and mad at me about that. And I recognize that that's something that Ollie and AB are doing. So I want to establish a specific distance from them in order to not cross them, to open the floor later on in the mid-merge late game to be able to hop on the train of exploring all opportunities. Um, I hope that makes sense. But I think that's where my mindset right now is. And I think going forward, it's an important aspect and it's a wonderful journey. I'm going to order food and eat breakfast/lunch. All right, bye.